Azania was a land of plenty. Green hills rolled as far as the eye could see. Rivers flowed with clear, cool water. The sun shone bright on fields of golden grain. It was a place of beauty and abundance. The people of Azania were proud and strong. They lived in harmony with the land. Their villages dotted the countryside. Each home was made of sturdy mud bricks and thatched roofs. The scent of cooking fires filled the air each evening. Azanians were known for their rich culture. They told stories around the fire at night. These tales spoke of brave heroes and wise leaders. Music and dance were a big part of life. The beat of drums could often be heard echoing through the valleys. The kingdom was blessed with many resources. Gold glittered in the riverbeds. Rare plants with healing powers grew in the forests. Azania's wealth drew the eyes of outsiders, but the people were ready to defend their home. They knew the value of what they had. In this land of plenty, a great leader was born. Her name was Njinga. From a young age, she showed wisdom beyond her years. She listened more than she spoke. She watched and learned from those around her. As Njinga grew, so did her strength. She trained with the warriors. She learned to use a spear and shield, but her greatest weapon was her mind. She could outsmart any opponent. The people began to call her the Lioness of Azania.
When I became queen, I faced many challenges. Outsiders wanted Azania's riches. They came with guns and ships, but I was ready. I united the people. I taught them new ways to fight. I showed them how to be strong together.
Njinga was not just a warrior, she was also a peacemaker. She knew when to fight and when to talk. She made deals with other kingdoms. She protected Azania's interests. Under her rule, the kingdom grew stronger than ever before. In a small village near the royal city, a girl named Aqua was born. She had bright eyes that sparkled with curiosity. From the moment she could walk, she was always asking questions. Why is the sky blue? How do birds fly? What makes the rain fall? Aqua's parents smiled at her endless questions. They encouraged her to learn. They told her stories of Queen Njinga. Aqua listened with wide eyes. She dreamed of being brave and smart like the queen. She wanted to make a difference in Azania.
I want to be like Queen Njinga. I want to be brave and smart and make a difference in Azania.
As Aqua grew, she explored every corner of her village. She climbed the tallest trees to see far away. She helped tend the crops in the fields. She learned to weave baskets and make pottery, but she always wanted to know more. One day, Aqua heard that Queen Njinga was visiting nearby. She begged her parents to let her go see the queen. They agreed. Aqua put on her best dress. She braided her hair neatly. She was ready to meet her hero. This day would change her life forever. Aqua knew that wisdom came from those who had lived long lives. She sought out the elders of her village. They were happy to share their knowledge with such an eager young mind. Aqua sat at their feet, soaking up every word. The old women taught Aqua about healing plants. They showed her which leaves could cure a fever, which roots could ease pain. Aqua learned to make medicines that could save lives. She practiced mixing herbs and making poultices.
These plants have been used by our people for generations. They hold the power to heal and protect.
The old men shared stories of Azania's history. They told tales of great battles and wise rulers. Aqua learned about the struggles their people had faced. She heard how they had overcome hardships. These stories filled her with pride and determination.
I want to learn everything. I want to help our people and make Azania proud.
But the most important lessons came from watching. Aqua saw how the elders solved problems, how they brought peace to arguments, how they made decisions that were fair for everyone. She learned that true wisdom was not just knowing facts, it was understanding people. As Aqua grew into a young woman, her reputation spread. People came from far and wide to seek her advice. They trusted her judgment.
They knew I had learned from the wisest in the land. I felt the weight of their trust. I knew I had to use my knowledge well.
One day a messenger came from the royal city. Queen Njinga had heard of Aqua's wisdom. The queen wanted to meet her.
My heart raced with excitement. This was my chance to serve Azania in a bigger way. I packed my few belongings and said goodbye to my family and village.
The journey to the city was long and hard, but Aqua didn't mind. Every step brought her closer to her dream. She was ready to learn from the greatest leader Azania had ever known.
When I arrived at the royal palace, I was in awe. It was bigger and grander than I had imagined, but I held my head high. I remembered all I had learned. I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. This was just the beginning of my journey.
Aqua's wisdom did not go unnoticed in the royal court. Queen Jinga soon made her an advisor. Aqua worked hard to prove herself worthy of this honor.
I studied maps and battle plans. I learned about diplomacy and strategy. I was always ready with a clever solution to any problem.
When enemies threatened Azania's borders, Aqua was there. She helped plan the defense. She came up with new ways to use the land to their advantage. Her knowledge of healing plants saved many wounded soldiers.
The people began to see you as a hero, Aqua, just like me.
But not all battles were fought with weapons. Aqua learned the art of negotiation. She helped make peace with neighboring kingdoms. She found ways to trade that benefited everyone.
My words were as powerful as any sword. I showed that strength comes in many forms.
Through it all, Aqua never forgot where she came from. She used her position to help villages like her own. She made sure resources were shared fairly. She encouraged education for all children.
I knew that a strong kingdom needed strong people at every level.
Njinga and Aqua, a powerful team. Queen Njinga and Aqua made a formidable pair. They complemented each other perfectly. Njinga had years of experience and the respect of the people. Aqua brought fresh ideas and a connection to the younger generation. Together, they led Azania into a golden age.
The two women spent long hours discussing the future of their kingdom. They dreamed big. They wanted Azania to be known far and wide as a place of learning and culture. They started schools and libraries. They sent scholars to other lands to bring back new knowledge.
Njinga taught Aqua the finer points of leadership, how to inspire loyalty, how to make tough decisions, how to balance the needs of different groups.
Aqua soaked up these lessons eagerly. She knew that one day she would need to use all she had learned.
As the years passed, Jinga grew older. She began to rely more and more on Aqua. The people saw this and approved. They knew Aqua had proven herself time and again. They trusted her to carry on Jinga's legacy. The future of Azania was in good hands. The day came when Queen Njinga knew it was time to step down. She called the people together. In a grand ceremony, she named Aqua as her successor. The crowd cheered. They had seen Aqua grow from a curious girl to a wise leader. They were ready to follow her.
Aqua felt the weight of the crown as it was placed on her head. She thought of her village, of the elders who had taught her. She thought of Njinga and all she had learned. Aqua knew she was ready for this moment. She would lead with strength and compassion. In her first speech as queen, Aqua made a promise. She would continue Njinga's work. She would keep Azania strong and free, but she would also bring new ideas. She wanted to make sure every Azanian had a chance to reach their full potential. Education and opportunity would be for all.
The people listened and nodded. They saw in Aqua the best of their traditions and the hope for their future. As she spoke, a feeling of excitement spread through the crowd. Azania was entering a new era. With Aqua as their leader, anything seemed possible. Queen Aqua's reign was not without its challenges. The world was changing. New technologies and ideas were spreading. Aqua knew Azania had to adapt to survive, but she was determined to do so without losing their identity and values.
One of the biggest tests came when a severe drought hit the land. Crops failed, rivers ran low, people were hungry and afraid. Aqua called on all her knowledge and experience. She organized water conservation efforts. She found new ways to grow food in dry conditions. She made sure help reached those who needed it most.
Through it all, Aqua remained strong. She worked tirelessly, often going without sleep. She visited villages, listened to people's concerns. She showed that a true leader shares in the struggles of her people. Her strength gave others hope. Slowly but surely, Azania recovered.
This crisis taught Akua an important lesson. She saw how important it was to prepare for the future. She started programs to protect the environment. She encouraged innovation in farming and water management. Akua knew that facing challenges made Azania stronger. Each problem solved was a step towards a better future.
As Akua led Azania into a new era, she never forgot the importance of tradition. She knew that the strength of their people came from their roots, their history, their stories, their ways of life. These were the foundation of everything they had achieved.
Akua made sure that young Azanians learned about their past. She established schools where elders could teach traditional skills. Weaving, pottery, storytelling, all were valued alongside modern subjects. She wanted every child to be proud of where they came from.
At the same time, Akua encouraged new ideas. She welcomed travelers and traders from other lands. She sent young Azanians out to learn and explore. But she always reminded them, bring back what is useful, but never lose sight of who you are.
As Akua grew older, she thought often of her own journey, from a curious village girl to the queen of a thriving kingdom. She hoped that her story would inspire others. She wanted every Azanian to know that they too could achieve great things.
With strength, wisdom and respect for their roots, anything was possible. This was the legacy Akua wanted to leave for future generations.